Hey, it's Sharon, your life fulfillment coach. And this week I have a really funny story that I want to share with you. It's funny, but it has this really impactful message behind it at the same time. So a couple weeks ago, I was off on my day, running errands, doing my thing, when all of a sudden I started getting messages from people asking me why I unfollowed them on Instagram. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, I haven't unfollowed you. And so what ended up happening was, I have a company that helps me manage my social media. I'll be completely honest and open about that. And what happened was they went in and ended up unfollowing a whole bunch of my friends without me knowing that that was going to happen. And so the biggest group that it really impacted were old coworkers of mine. So from my old job. And apparently it was like the news of the day. The news of the day was Sharon unfollowed all of us on Instagram. What is going on? Does she not like us anymore? Does she not care? Does she not want to have any association with this old workplace? Like, they were jumping to conclusions left, right, and center. And it's kind of funny when you think about it. Part of me was like, oh, I didn't know they cared so much. But it ended up creating all of these assumptions. And what I ended up doing was, after I found out about it, was I decided, I popped into the office and I walked in and I said to everybody, I'm like, hey guys, can we please be Instagram friends again? And we all had a laugh about it, and we all joked and talked about it and talking about how they were all thinking all these different things. But it made me realize, like, how many times in life does something happen or somebody does something and you make an assumption around it? Because the only reason I found out about it was because there were so many people talking about it, and then people just ended up telling me. But there may have been a few one-off people who noticed I unfollowed them and didn't say anything to me, and deep down they're still like feeling like I don't care. They're making assumptions as to like why I would unfollow them, and that if I were ever to run into them in person, I'm sure that they would end up having these emotions come up and think about the fact that I unfollowed them, even though that's not what happened at all. I had no idea that I ended up unfollowing all of these people. So I know it sounds kind of crazy because it's social media, but at the same time, we do take a lot of things personally, and especially when it comes to social media. I mean, that's just another outlet where we're putting ourselves out there. We're putting ourselves out there to more judgment, to more criticism. And, you know, it also, what comes up with that as well is people taking things really personally. If you unfollow someone, if you don't like someone or something that they posted, it's like a lot of our feelings and a lot of our pride and personal judgment is so closely intertwined with social media these days. So my message and lesson for you guys today is to really think about what assumptions you could be making in your life right now. And I encourage you to find clarity and get answers to it. Maybe it requires a really uncomfortable conversation with somebody, but you know what? If you have that conversation, you may end up feeling a lot better, because you'll realize that everything that you were thinking and feeling wasn't even true. You didn't even need to be feeling the way that you feel. So assumptions can really, really, really be our enemy at times, a lot of the time. And so it's really important that you're aware of when you're doing that and catch yourself in those assumptions, and talk about them and figure them out and not be so consumed by them. So that's my story for you guys this week. Instagram almost made me lose some awesome friends without me even realizing it. So I've definitely learned a lesson around that as well. And for me too, when I started to realize that this was happening, like, I started to feel really guilty and really bad, because I'm like, oh my goodness, these people don't think I like them, and maybe they don't like me now. It like created this whole other thing for me as well. So it's funny how one thing can just like spiral into all these different things. So just something to really, really be mindful of as you carry on through your day, through your week, through your life. If you guys have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to me, and I would love for you to subscribe to this YouTube channel, where I just love to share little life tidbits with you guys weekly, and I'll see you guys next week.